Hey kids, welcome back to Kids Books. Our next story is called When I Was a Little Girl. Now you little guys, remember now, when you hear this sound, that means it's time to turn the page. Here we go. Are you ready?
Hi, my name is Denise, and I used to be a little girl. I'm all grown up now, and I have a little girl of my own. Her name is Chloe. Sometimes Chloe and I sit on the edge of the bed and say our prayers and tell stories and stuff. Lately, Chloe's been asking me what it was like when I was young like her. Well, let's see. When I was a little girl like you, we didn't play video games and things like you kids have today. We had paper dolls at big old tire swings and played house a lot. We also pretended to have tea parties with our little tiny cups and saucers.
What was your favorite thing to do, Mommy?
Well, Chloe, one of my favorites was going to my grandma's farm. I could still see it like a storybook in my mind. Grandma had a beautiful floppy-eared brown and white cow named Daffy, and she provided milk for all her sons and their families. I just loved hearing her call, "Daffy! Here, Daff, Daff, Daffy!" Grandma had almost every kind of fruit tree in the orchard beside her house, and it always smelled of honeysuckles, apples, and ground corn out by the corn crib. Sometimes I can still smell it when I close my eyes. Oh, how it reminds me of when I was a little girl. Sometimes she would be in the spring branch, raking out excess watercress with her big boots and hat on. I loved getting a drink from that spring. It tasted so good, clean, and natural, and it was always cold, too.
What's watercress, Mommy?
Well, it's a plant that's usually found growing in natural springs that somehow God just has growing there to help keep His springs clean and wonderful. Grandma would sometimes put it on her sandwiches when she had no lettuce. Speaking of growing, Grandma always had a big, beautiful garden, and we would always leave her house with a gigantic brown grocery bag full of corn, beans, tomatoes, all kinds of goodies, even rhubarb. I guess I didn't think much of it back then, but now I realize just how awesome Grandma's garden was. Oh yeah, I almost forgot about her big long clothesline out beside the garden. Sometimes I would walk between the big white freshly washed sheets and smell them as they blow in the wind, and I'd just pretend that I was in heaven. Now, beyond the garden and the clothesline were outbuildings and small barns. I would sometimes pretend that they were houses and that one of them was mine. I'd make brooms from apple tree branches and sweep the dirt floors with them until they were very smooth.
Did you pretend you were a mommy?
Well, yes, as a matter of fact, I did, sweetheart. Sometimes there would be a litter of kittens or puppies underneath one of those old barns, and I would get one and pretend that it was my baby.
Was that your favorite thing to do, Mommy?
No, Chloe, my very favorite thing to do when I was a little girl was to sit at the end of a long day and listen to my mama tell stories about when she was a little girl. And as she would braid my hair, it was like she was weaving our hearts together, and sometimes I felt like I was just like her.
Hey, Mommy.
Yes, honey.
Sometimes I pretend I'm a mommy too.
You do?
Yeah, it's really, really easy.
It is.
Yeah, I just pretend I'm you.
The end.